Hey everybody, welcome back. Todd here. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to take a look at the Memphis Shades Lowers. As you know, I've got a 2021 Harley-Davidson Sport Glide, and I'm working with the folks over at Gustafsson Plastics to get a good touring windshield set up, dialed in. We're playing around with a couple of different prototypes right now, and you know, you're not going to get all that wind out of the way. You're not going to create that pocket that I think all of us are after without managing the air that's coming up from along the side of the tank, and it's coming up through the forks and up in that general area. Now Gustafsson has a good, we're playing around with a prototype on a lower wind deflector, but that's not going to come down far enough to really create that pocket again that I think most of us are after. So to me, the perfect add-on is these Memphis Shade Lowers. So I've went ahead and purchased the lowers. I'm going to go ahead and install them, and then between the Memphis Shade Lowers and the Gustafsson lower wind deflectors, we're going to try to figure out if we can get that dialed in, and then if so, Gustafsson's going to go ahead and create a lower wind deflector that'll work in tandem with the Memphis Shade Lowers. So that's what I'm working on right now. So here's the challenge. Memphis Shades does not make a Sport Glide specific set of hardware. So working on some of the Sport Glide forums on Facebook and whatever, I've talked with guys that are running them, and what you end up having to do is buy some and then use zip ties and whatnot to kind of get them to work. So that's what I'm up against now. So hopefully I can get these things on and we can give it a try. If that works, then I need to reach out to Memphis Shades and see if we can get them to make a Sport Glide, you know, set of hardware for it. No more of this nonsense of zip tying stuff on, you know. So, but anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. I'll show you the install, then I'll do a review once I've ridden. So come on with me. Okay, before I get too far into it, let me show you the hardware that comes with this. So this is to go around our forks. Well, you know, we've got the inverted forks. There's no way that's going to come close to it. So what you end up having to do is this. So first of all, you attach this to this part right here, which I've done on this one. So that's going to go out, and your lower will go on there, will attach to that. So then this has to circle the fork to hold it on, okay? Here, hopefully that'll focus. So here's this, you can see that groove right there. Sorry about that, guys. Autofocus is a bear. Well, anyways, this channel slides into that and it forms a bond, right? So I've had to go ahead and bend this open to get it to go far enough around my forks. Now, I've taken a strip of Gorilla tape, you know, their duct tape that's really thick, and I've run that around my forks so I don't scratch the crap out of my forks. But so I should be able to get this around, and instead of being able to screw it down with this screw, which if it was a perfect fit around the fork, you'd be able to then screw that down and you're in business, right? But again, they don't make one for us, so you're improvising. So what I'm going to have to do is run a zip tie like so, bring it back through and zip tie it onto my fork, and that'll make up for the difference. That's what other guys are doing, so that's what I'm gonna do. And at this point, I'm prototyping anyhow, so you know, I think I have like 85 bucks plus tax into these lowers. I'll show you, you know. Then here's the lower wind deflectors. You can see it's got 2 holes in it. Those just go right on. So just wanted to let you know what we're doing here, so let's move into it. All right, so here we go. Good luck on this, huh? Now it's going to go right over top of your reflector. There's just no way around it. And you're going to have to get this bent out like I've done here. So now it's zip tie time. I'm committed now. Amazingly, oh, yeah, came unclipped. You can see that. So better now than when I'm running 60 mile an hour, right? So back to the drawing board. Okay, as you saw, that first attempt did not work, but I figured out what the problem was. Number one, I was cranking on it way too heavy, so there's that. Secondly, well, I'll show you what I did and how it worked better, and if you're going to do this, what you need to do. So let's go take a look. Okay, I went ahead and got that on. So here's what I was doing before. First of all, I had the wrong size zip tie, so I went to an 11-inch, which is longer. You're going to cut it down anyhow, but by going to the 11-inch, you got a much better feel for how far to crank it down, you know, and so there's that part of it. The other thing is I went ahead and I put the glass on there, you know, the actual deflector, so that I could position it, because what the problem was is I had the bracket on there, then I was trying to move the bracket, you know, kind of rotate it. Well, you know, and I had to put a certain, because it was on there pretty good, it put too much force on it and opened it up. So, you know, there's that. Once I got the thing back together, you could see on the top there how it slides together. I also had it on the very first one. Well, now you can see, if it's zooming in, I've got it on the second one, which is better. And once I got it all on, I got it all zip tied together back there. I went ahead and ran some tape over top of it so that this can't open up. But even without it, it's on there pretty good. I just don't want that thing going peeling off at 60 miles an hour. Boom, it's gone. Not to mention it could hit another car or somebody else. So, all right, there's that. Now I will show you this. That deflector sticks out forward of the lowers that I'm running, so it'll be interesting to see, you know, what that does. But I think it's a pretty clean, other than all that tape. That tape is on there if you haven't watched my videos, because I'm extending the standard Gustafsson lower wind deflectors by about 4 inches. So I just went ahead and mocked up some cardboard, popsicle sticks, and tape to do that, and that's run pretty good. Now I'm hoping when I add these lower wind deflectors, bam, I'm going to have the pocket that I'm after. Then they will go ahead, they being Gustafsson, will go ahead and make up the proper length and style of the lower so that it'll work in concert with those Memphis Shades lowers. That's the game plan anyhow. Okay, let me get the other one on. Okay, I'll mention a couple of things before we get too far into this. So I went ahead and put my Gorilla Tape over here. Just put it over my forks. That way nothing is going to scratch my forks. the measurement from the bottom edge of your fairing to the top edge of your Gorilla Tape is 2 inches. That's how I have that one positioned. It positions the lower so that you don't have to worry about that coming into contact with your fiberglass or your lower fairing there. So, and that's pretty much, I think, where we're going to run it. We still have some testing to do, but that's where Gustafsson's going to make theirs to come down towards that. So again, there's a little tip. 2 inches is what you're doing. On the zip tie, use an 11-inch zip tie. Okay, I'll take a minute to show you some of these components. So hopefully the camera is going to focus on it if I hold still. Doggone it. So you can see how that's ribbed. These are the components that go together. So you slide those in. It should slide in, and then it makes a connection. So those are those. Now, here on the actual wind deflectors, give me a second. You're going to take apart what they send you. You take this apart with an Allen wrench. I think they give you an Allen wrench. If not, you know, you'll need to get one out. So you take this apart, you pull the rubber out, so all you have is the rubber stopper. Then you're going to take your lower and you're going to stick that rubber. You can see it's got 2 holes. You're going to go ahead, and by taking it all apart and all you have is the rubber, makes it easy to shove this in and seat this so that it has rubber on both sides of it. So you just kind of take your time and work it in. Of course, I'm in a hurry. I'll end up ripping it. But yeah, there you go. So now you can see it's seated on both sides. You do that with both of these, then your hardware just goes through this. All right, I'll get those done. I'll be back in a second. Okay, once you've got it done with both of those, you're going to take this, the bracket. Obviously, that's going to go behind it, like so. So you're going to take that, and you'll see that that is slotted with a straight edge on it. So these have straight edges. So these will go through the back side. It's pretty obvious because that's the only place that has the straight slotted. And so you'll put them together that way. I'll go ahead and get them together and show you. Okay, once you've got that attached, you're going to take your bracket, and you can see how it's got this square. Well, look at the back of this. See how it's hollowed out? That square piece is going to fit right in that slot like so. And so then all you're going to do is go ahead and, you know, attach that. You've got your this button type thing right there. It goes right there, and you just crank it down. I'll be back in a second. So just like that, you're attached. So now it's ready to go. Your curve goes up. This has a little bit of an arc to it. Pretty easy to see which way it's supposed to go. So, and they have directions, pretty good directions, no problem. Let's go get it on the bike. And there we have it. We're finished. You know, it's not a bad look. It'll be interesting to see how it runs. It'd be great if I didn't have that tape all over it, but I'll let you take a look at it once I get it outside. Okay, here's the bike with the Memphis Shade Lowers on it. They're clear. I like that because it kind of just disappears. You've got the Gustafsson Lowers. I'll show them to you from behind. They attach on the back side of the fairing and come down. Those are the standards, and they stop right about here. I've extended them. We're working on a longer extension bit. I'm going to go ahead and ride this, see what this will do. It's not a bad look. you know, I mean, once you get the tape off. So let's go ahead and... Okay, I just got back from a ride. These lowers by Memphis Shade are definitely going to be the ticket. I didn't get any wind buffeting at all. You've got a clear pocket from your seat all the way up to where it starts coming over. For me, it kind of glances across the top of my head in a very even way. It's not buffeting you back and forth. It's very comfortable. And I've been riding my open face helmet on all of these test rides. I've got a very good full-faced helmet, and there's no question that that full-face helmet will be comfortable as heck with that 15-inch prototype. But definitely having the lowers, the Memphis Shade lowers that extend beyond the Gustafsson lower wind deflectors, but also having those Gustafsson lower wind deflectors, that's the combination right there. If you're looking to create a touring type of a air pocket for comfort, there you go. I'd like to see a 16-inch. I'm going to talk to Zach about having him make up a 16-inch for me. Of course, I've got the 17-inch as well, and I'll be doing some more demo on that with the wind deflectors to see how that all works out. But if you're going to go with these taller windshields, you're going to need at least a 4-inch pullback riser to run with the wider windshield like that. So, all right, that's a wrap for this video. We'll be back at you with the next one as we continue on. If you like what we're doing here, if you like what I'm doing, give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and we'll see you on the next one.